Hello, everybody, and today for Beavis and Butthead Season 3, I'm here to review the latest two episodes that just came out. I forget what the first episode's called, but this one's definitely a hilarious one. This is where old Beavis and Butthead are almost going to be convicted from their home because they refused to pay rent, and the landlord and a cop are at the door, and of course, they're already laughing at Beavis and Butthead. But of course, this gives the duo an idea to eat and drink as much junk as possible just so they can not fit through the door. And this is what Butthead does in the whole episode. He just eats so much pizza, nachos, just endless food. It kind of reminds me of the Super Size Me episode. That one is where Beavis and Butthead get the idea from Morgan Sherlock, the dude who ate all those burgers for 30 days straight from McDonald's. So they get the idea to eat as much Burger World just so they can become famous. But this time, Butthead's just trying to eat so he can't fit through the door so they don't get kicked out. So once he does get fat, it just becomes depressing to watch. And when Beavis tries to eat the food, he ends up getting told to don't eat it. And he says they're just wasting all the food he needs to eat. And eventually he gets so big that he can barely even walk and fit in his own shoes. But Beavis decides to just eat a group of nachos that was left. But of course, Butthead gets angry from this. But once the cops with a squad team, well, not a squad team, but like a squad car shows up, they try to get through the door, but Beavis and Butthead decide to just jug as much beer as they can. And Butthead is basically so fat that he can't even fit through the door. And once the cops try to push him through, it just becomes hilarious. And yeah, Butthead basically just gets to sit on the couch with Beavis until the cops are able to cut a giant hole in the wall and use a strap to arrest Butthead with a crane, and everyone's watching. So this episode was definitely hilarious. I was like literally laughing as Butthead was just barely trying to survive, and he literally cried while eating as much French fries as he can throughout the 30 days they were supposed to pay their rent. So I guess this episode teaches us to just get fat so we don't get kicked out of the house. But but on a more serious note, if you have rent to pay, pay it. So save as much money as you can. But yeah, they also react to like a dude chugging as much Hawaiian punch as possible. I like that segment because I'm a huge Hawaiian punch fan. But yeah, this episode was definitely hilarious. Next is metal detector. I unfortunately don't have a photo for that episode, but this is where Beavis and Butthead randomly see Tom Anderson using a metal detector to find an old knob, and Beavis and Butthead, of course, misinterpret this as a dirty humor joke. So they decide while Tom Anderson goes out to get some beer, Beavis and Butthead decide to use the metal detector to find as much metal they can smack with a shovel as possible. I even like how Tom Anderson called Beavis Bustamante. That's a new vocabulary term I'd definitely like to use in the future. But Beavis ends up just hitting as much of Tom Anderson's stuff as possible, as Butthead just uses the tracking device to just basically find anything metal, and then Beavis destroys it. They destroy Tom Anderson's TV, his old like stuff in his curio cabinets. And it's just you feel bad for Tom Anderson since he gets tormented by Beavis and Butthead all the time, and he doesn't even recognize the two once they cause as much chaos, and he doesn't even realize it. It's just so funny to watch. But of course, Beavis and Butthead eventually leave the house, And of course, Tom Anderson is pissed, and this episode just ends on a funny note. But yeah, so poor Tom Anderson. But I forgot to mention one segment that they decided to do now because I forgot to also mention they did a Tom Anderson flashback of how he met his wife. I forgot to mention that the last few reviews. But we also got a new segment with Mr. Van Driessen. So if we last time we saw Van Driessen, he got eaten by a bear. But it looks like the episode's just restarting itself with Van Driessen having a date with his girlfriend, but of course she leaves him while he's eating. You feel bad for Van Driessen since he goes through a lot, and he's still his peace and love self. But that segment was definitely funny. Even the theme song was definitely weird. But these two episodes of Beavis and Butthead were definitely hilarious. Typical Beavis and Butthead humor, of course, but it's still entertaining to watch. The show is not meant to have canon, it's just meant to be a comedy. So yeah, these episodes definitely 8s out of 10s for sure. So yeah, I'm hoping the next few episodes are really good. But I don't know. I'd like to see other Beavis and Butthead characters return, like Dario. I don't know if Darius is gonna return the next episode. Probably not. But if we do get her, I'm definitely gonna talk about it. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time, and I'll leave you with this.
Banks at 24/7. You boys mind watching my stuff while I get a cold one? I'm just worried about those two bad kids who live around here, Blovis and Bustamante. Bustamante.